Hey everybody, and welcome back to All Things Soggy Buns. Today we're going to dive deep into the world of food trucks. They're super popular these days, but what does it really take to launch one and make it a success? Luckily, we've got some great insights from an article over at Forbes Advisor to help guide us.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just like cooking up some good food, right? It's a whole business, a brand. You're out there connecting with people. There's a real entrepreneurial spirit, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, absolutely. And let's be honest, food trucks are just fun. There's something about chasing down your favorite truck on a sunny afternoon. But like with any big adventure, you've got to be prepared. And Ford's Advisor lays out a roadmap for success, starting with building a strong foundation.
It's like building a house, right? You can't just start putting in fancy fixtures without making sure you've got a solid foundation first. And Forbes Advisor outlines 3 key steps to get started. You got to conceptualize your idea, craft a detailed business plan, and register your business to make it official.
All right, so let's break those down one by one, starting with conceptualization. The article really stresses the importance of finding that sweet spot between something you're passionate about and something that the market actually wants.
Yeah, it's got to be something you love to cook, but also something that people will love to buy and line up for. The article gives some cool examples, like maybe you focus on a unique cuisine or experiment with fusion dishes. Maybe you cater to specific dietary needs, or even just really emphasize using local ingredients.
It's all about creating a unique brand story that people can connect with, something that resonates with them, which makes a lot of sense, especially for a food truck like Soggy Bunz, right? We're all about representing our local community here in Maryland, both with our food truck and our catering service. So if you were dreaming up the Soggy Bunz menu, what kind of culinary creations would you feature?
Oh man, that's a fun one. But before we get carried away with menu planning, our Forbes Advisor Guide reminds us that we can't forget about the business plan. Think of it like a GPS for your entrepreneurial road trip. You wouldn't hit the road without one right. It helps you see the big picture, stay on track, and navigate any unexpected detours.
That's a great analogy. And just like a GPS, your business plan should help you hit all the important stops along the way, like market analysis, menu development, your marketing plan, and of course, those financial projections.
Oh yeah, the financial projections. Those can definitely be a little intimidating, but they're super important. It's where you really have to face the realities of costs, potential revenue, and how long it might take to actually start making a profit. It can feel overwhelming. But that's why the article emphasizes exploring different funding sources, like personal savings loans or even investors. Being prepared is key.
It's like making sure you have enough gas in the tank before setting off on that road trip. Now, the article doesn't shy away from the less glamorous side of things either. All the legal stuff that's essential to make your food truck legit.
Right. Registering your business is like getting a driver's license, but for your company. You got to choose the right legal structure, like a sole proprietorship partnership or LLC. It can get pretty complicated.
I bet. Sounds like this is where getting some advice from a professional, like an accountant or an attorney, could really save you a lot of headaches down the road. I mean, who wants to get a parking ticket for their business because they missed a legal step?
I like that analogy. But yeah, seriously, getting the legal stuff right from the start is important. It protects you from liability, makes sure you're handling taxes correctly, and keeps your business on the right side of the law.
All right, so we've got our concept, we've got our business plan,
Uh-huh.
and we're officially registered. Sounds like we're ready to hit the road and start serving up some deliciousness.
Whoa, hold on there. We've got one more crucial step before we fire up the grill. Permits and licenses. Those are the keys to operating legally and safely. And this is often where things can get a little overwhelming for new business owners.
Yeah, it can feel like you're navigating a maze of paperwork and regulations. Where do you even begin?
It can be daunting, but our Forbes Advisor Guide lays out a clear path. First step is research. Every city, county, and state has its own set of requirements, so you got to understand what applies to you. Then it's all about gathering documents, filling out applications, paying fees, and then playing the waiting game while your application is reviewed.
Okay, that sounds a little less intimidating when you break it down like that.
Yeah.
Are there any permits or licenses that are especially important for food trucks? The ones that could make or break your operation?
Absolutely. There are 2 that are non-negotiable for any food truck: the Food Service Establishment Permit and the Mobile Food Vendor License.
Okay, tell me more about those two. What makes them so important?
So the Food Service Establishment Permit is all about ensuring that your truck meets health and safety standards. It gives your customers peace of mind that their food is prepared in a clean and safe environment. It usually involves inspections of your kitchen setup and equipment.
Ah, so that's where those health inspectors come in. I always wondered what went on behind the scenes during those
Yeah.
inspections.
Oh, I'm sure there are some stories there. But anyway, the mobile food vendor license is what actually gives you the legal right to operate your truck on the streets. This usually means a separate application process fees and specific requirements set by the local authorities.
Sounds like a lot of paperwork. But I guess it's all part of ensuring a smooth and legal operation. And speaking of smooth operations, let's shift gears and talk about the financial side of things. Money can be a major source of stress for new entrepreneurs, right?
Oh, for sure. That's why the article really emphasizes careful budgeting and cost planning. It's all about understanding the major expenses involved in running a food truck, beyond just the cost of the truck itself.
So what are some of the big ticket items we need to be prepared for?
Well, first off, there's the initial investment in equipment. Think about all the kitchen appliances you'll need: ovens, grills, fryers, refrigerators, ventilation systems, a point-of-sale system. And then there are all the smaller things that add up too: utensils, cookware, servingware. It's easy to get swept up in the big picture and forget about those smaller but essential costs.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you buy a car. You factor in the sticker price, but then there's insurance, gas maintenance, all those unexpected expenses that can really take a bite out of your budget.
Exactly. And with a food truck, you also have ongoing expenses like fuel for the truck, repairs and maintenance insurance, not to mention the cost of supplies and staffing if you need extra help. It's essential to build all these costs into your budget from the very beginning.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. Now, our article breaks down some of the major expenses, starting with, of course, the truck itself. It mentions several options for finding the perfect vehicle: online marketplaces, classified ads, even specialty food truck websites. There's even the option of renting, which could be a good way to test the waters before taking the plunge.
Renting can definitely be a good option, especially when you're first starting out. The article recommends considering factors like the size and layout of the truck, and crucially, what equipment comes with it or what you'll need to add. Speaking of the truck, what kind of vibe do you envision for Soggy Bunz? Something classic and retro, or sleek and modern?
Tough question. I think something with a bit of vintage charm would suit our brand, but with all the modern amenities, of course. But let's say we've secured our dream truck and we've outfitted it with all the essential equipment. Now comes the task of finding the perfect spot to park our culinary masterpiece.
Location, location, location. They say it's everything in real estate. And it's just as important for food trucks. Choosing the right location can be a real game changer.
Yeah, it's like finding the perfect date spot. It sets the mood and can make all the difference. So what are some of the key factors we should consider when choosing our food truck's home base?
Well, first and foremost, you need to think about your target audience. Are you aiming for the busy downtown lunch crowd, hungry college students, or families looking for a fun weekend treat? Each demographic has its own preferences and patterns.
For Soggy Bunz, I'm picturing us parked at a local farmer's market on a Saturday morning. Sunshine, fresh produce, and the mouth-watering aroma of our buns filling the air. Can you imagine anything better?
I can practically taste it. But beyond the target audience, you also need to consider the competition. Are there other food trucks in the area serving similar cuisine? How can you differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd?
Right, you don't want to get lost in a sea of similar options. And of course, we need to make sure we're following all the rules and regulations regarding where food trucks can operate. We don't want to get shut down for parking in a restricted zone. Remember that parking ticket we joked about earlier?
Exactly. And then there's the all-important factor of visibility and accessibility. You want a location that's easy for customers to find with plenty of foot traffic and parking nearby. Nobody wants to hunt for their favorite food truck.
Sounds like finding the perfect location is a delicate balancing act. But let's say we've found the sweet spot, the perfect location, our truck is all set up, and those delicious smells are drawing in a crowd. Now we need to spread the word and get the buzz going.
You're talking about marketing, right? It's the secret sauce for any successful business, and food trucks are no exception.
You got it. So what are some of the best ways for food trucks to get the word out and build a loyal following?
Well, in today's digital world, social media is a must-have. It's the perfect platform to showcase your brand personality, share mouth-watering photos of your food, and engage with your customers. It's all about building that online community and generating excitement around your brand.
And speaking of online buzz, those online reviews could be like gold for food trucks. Can you imagine scrolling through Yelp and seeing a rave review about the incredible buns from Soggy Bunz?
I can only imagine. And speaking of soggy buns,
Oh, I almost forgot.
yeah.
We have a special treat for our listeners. If you're in Maryland and craving those seriously delicious buns, head over to soggybunz.com. That's buns with a Z. You'll find everything you need to track down Soggy Bunz and experience those culinary delights firsthand.
Now, where were we? Ah, yes, marketing. In addition to social media, the article highlights the importance of a strong online presence beyond just social media. A website where customers can easily find your menu, location, hours of operation, and maybe even place orders online is crucial in today's digital world.
That makes perfect sense. It's all about making it as easy as possible for people to find you and enjoy your food. But what about reaching people who aren't glued to their phones? Are there any old-school marketing tactics that still work for food trucks?
Absolutely. Email marketing is a great way to stay top of mind with your customers. You can send out newsletters with special offers, new menu items, or event announcements, and then there's good old-fashioned signage, making sure your food truck is eye-catching and memorable, like a traveling billboard for your brand. And don't forget about partnerships.
Partnerships.
Yeah, like think about teaming up with local businesses or events, to reach new customers. You could participate in food truck rallies, farmers markets, or even cater corporate events or private parties. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
That's a fantastic idea. It's all about tapping into existing networks and creating those mutually beneficial relationships. What about loyalty programs? Do those work well for food trucks? I know I'm always a sucker for a good rewards program.
Loyalty programs can be super effective, whether it's offering discounts, reward points, or even just a simple welcome back. Those little gestures can go a long way in building customer loyalty and keep those hungry customers coming back for more.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Mm-hmm.
From crafting a compelling brand story to mastering the art of marketing. But let's face it, running a food truck isn't always sunshine and rainbows. There are bound to be challenges along the way.
Right, and that's where the article's emphasis on navigating challenges and setbacks comes in. Things don't always go according to plan, so being prepared for the unexpected is crucial.
You're talking about things like equipment malfunctions, supply chain issues, maybe even a sudden downpour that sends your customers running for cover.
Exactly. Imagine a rogue gust of wind snatching away one of those perfectly crafted soggy buns burgers.
Oh, the horror. That
Yeah.
would be a culinary tragedy.
But seriously, having contingency plans in place for those unexpected situations can be a lifesaver. What happens if your generator fails in the middle of a busy lunch rush? What if a key ingredient doesn't arrive on time?
It's all about being resourceful, thinking on your feet, and not letting those little bumps in the road derail your entire operation.
You got it. It's about having that entrepreneurial spirit, that ability to adapt and find solutions when the going gets tough.
This conversation has really highlighted the dedication and resilience it takes to be successful in the food truck industry. It's so much more than just cooking up tasty treats.
It really is. It requires a unique blend of culinary skills, business savvy, marketing expertise, and a whole lot of passion and determination.
And let's not forget the importance of exceptional customer service. That friendly interaction, that personalized experience, that's what sets food trucks apart from traditional restaurants.
Absolutely. Building those relationships, creating those memorable moments for customers, that's what keeps them coming back for more. It's about turning a simple transaction into a genuine connection.
So for all those aspiring food truck entrepreneurs out there listening to this deep dive, what are the key takeaways you'd want them to remember?
First and foremost, do your homework. Understand the market research, the regulations in your area, and get a realistic picture of the costs involved. A rock-solid business plan is your roadmap to success. So don't skip that step.
And don't be afraid to seek guidance from experienced entrepreneurs or industry professionals. There's a wealth of knowledge and support out there.
And most importantly, never underestimate the power of passion. It's the fuel that will drive you through the long days, the challenges, and the inevitable setbacks.
That's such great advice. Passion is contagious, and it's what makes the food truck experience so special. Speaking of passion, we'd be remiss if we didn't give another shout out to our very own labor of love, Soggy Bunz.
Our Maryland-based food truck and catering service is bringing those irresistible buns to the streets, and we're so excited to share them with you.
If you're in the Maryland area and your taste buds are tingling for some seriously delicious buns, head over to soggybunz.com. That's buns with a Z. You'll find all the latest updates on our menu location and catering services.
We've got something special cooking up, and we can't wait to serve you. Now getting back to our deep dive, Let's shift gears and talk about one of the most essential aspects of running a successful food truck business.
I'm intrigued. What's next on our culinary journey?
It's all about the money. We touched on it briefly earlier, but let's dig a little deeper into the financial side of things. Understanding the numbers is crucial for any business, and food trucks are no exception.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's talk finances.
So the Forbes Advisor article breaks down costs into two main categories: startup costs and ongoing expenses. Startup costs are those one-time expenses you incur when you're first launching your business.
So that would include things like purchasing the truck itself, outfitting it with equipment,
Yeah,
and getting all the necessary licenses and permits, right?
exactly. And these costs can vary widely depending on factors like the type of truck you choose, the equipment you need, and the regulations in your area.
Can you give us some ballpark figures, just to give our listeners a sense of what to expect?
Sure. Let's say you're in a city like Baltimore, Maryland. You're looking at anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 for a used food truck. And that's just for the vehicle itself. Then you have to factor in equipment costs, which can easily run another $10,000 to $20,000, depending on your menu and the complexity of your operation.
Wow, those numbers are adding up quickly.
And don't forget about those permits and licenses we talked about earlier. Those can range from a few $100s to several $1,000s, depending on your location.
It sounds like starting a food truck business requires a significant upfront investment.
It does. But it's important to remember that it's an investment in your future. And once you've covered those initial startup costs, you have to shift your focus to managing your ongoing expenses.
Okay, so what falls under ongoing expenses?
Think of it as the cost of keeping your food truck rolling and serving up deliciousness. This includes things like fuel repairs and maintenance insurance, food and beverage supplies, and of course staffing costs if you need to hire employees.
It sounds like there are a lot of moving parts to keep track of.
There are. And one of the biggest challenges for food truck owners is accurately estimating those ongoing expenses. It's not just about the cost of ingredients. It's about factoring in those hidden costs that can sneak up on you.
Hidden costs, what kind of costs are we talking about?
Things like unexpected repairs, fluctuations in fuel prices, or even something as simple as the cost of cleaning supplies. It's easy to underestimate these expenses, but they can add up quickly and eat into your profits.
So how can food truck owners stay on top of their finances and avoid those financial pitfalls? Any tips from our Forbes Advisor Guide?
The article stresses the importance of meticulous record keeping. Tracking your income and expenses, creating a detailed budget, and regularly reviewing your financial performance are crucial for staying in the black.
That makes sense. It's all about being proactive and having a clear understanding of where your money is going. But let's be honest, not everyone is a financial whiz. What if numbers aren't your strong suit?
That's where seeking professional guidance can be invaluable. Consulting with an accountant or financial advisor can help you create a solid financial plan, understand your tax obligations, and make informed decisions about managing your money.
It sounds like having a trusted financial expert on your team can provide peace of mind and help you navigate the financial complexities of running a business. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something a little more fun. Menu planning.
Ah, yes. The heart and soul of any food truck. Crafting a delicious and enticing menu is what draws customers in and keeps them coming back for more.
And our Forbes Advisor article dives into some key considerations for creating a winning menu.
You bet it does. It emphasizes the importance of finding that perfect balance between creativity and practicality. You want your menu to reflect your passion and showcase your culinary skills. But it also needs to be operationally feasible within the confines of a food truck.
I'm starting to see the challenge here. It's a delicate balancing act.
Exactly. Think about the limitations of your kitchen space, the equipment you have available, and the time it takes to prepare each dish. You don't want to offer a menu that's too ambitious and overwhelms your staff or creates long wait times for customers.
That's a great point. Nobody wants to wait an hour for their food, no matter how delicious it might be. What other factors should we consider when planning our menu?
The article suggests thinking about your target audience and what they're likely to crave. Are you catering to a health-conscious crowd, a group of adventurous eaters, or families looking for kid-friendly options?
I can see how understanding your customers' preferences can help you tailor your menu to their tastes. What about pricing? How do food truck owners strike that balance between offering competitive prices and ensuring profitability?
Pricing is a tricky one, and it often involves some trial and error. You need to factor in the cost of ingredients, labor, and overhead expenses, while also considering what the market will bear.
It sounds like there's a lot of number crunching involved in setting those menu prices.
There is, but it's a crucial step in ensuring the financial sustainability of your business. And don't be afraid to adjust your prices as needed. If a particular dish is flying off the shelves, you might be able to increase the price slightly. On the other hand, if a dish isn't selling well, you might need to reevaluate the pricing or consider removing it from the menu.
It sounds like flexibility and adaptability are key when it comes to menu management. What about sourcing ingredients? Any tips from our Forbes Advisor Guide on finding high-quality ingredients at reasonable prices?
The article recommends establishing strong relationships with local suppliers. Not only can this help you secure fresh, high-quality ingredients, but it also supports your local community and strengthens your brand's story.
I love that idea. Sourcing local ingredients is a win-win for everyone. Now let's talk about something that's essential for any food business: maintaining those high standards of food safety and hygiene.
Absolutely. Food safety should be at the forefront of every food truck owner's mind. The article reminds us that food trucks are essentially mobile kitchens, and they need to adhere to the same strict standards as any brick-and-mortar restaurant.
So that means things like proper food handling, temperature control, and regular cleaning and sanitation. Right.
Got it. And it's not just about meeting the minimum requirements. It's about going above and beyond to ensure the safety and well-being of your customers.
And let's be honest, a food truck's reputation can be made or broken by its commitment to food safety. One negative incident can have a ripple effect and damage your brand's credibility.
That's so true. So investing in proper training for your staff, implementing rigorous food safety protocols, and maintaining a spotless kitchen are essential for building trust with your customers and ensuring the long-term success of your business.
Those are all such important points. It's clear that food safety is not something to be taken lightly.
Now let's shift gears and talk about something that's a little more fun. Branding. Ah, yes. Creating a strong brand identity is what sets your food truck apart from the competition and helps you connect with your target audience.
Our Forbes Advisor article offers some great insights into building a memorable brand. What are some of the key elements that food truck owners should consider?
Well, it all starts with your name and logo. You want something catchy, memorable, and reflective of your food and overall vibe.
I can see how a clever name and eye-catching logo can make a food truck instantly recognizable. What of the overall aesthetic of the truck itself?
That's crucial too. Think about the colors, graphics, and overall design of your truck. You want it to be visually appealing and inviting to customers. Think of it as your mobile storefront.
It's like creating a visual identity that reflects your brand's personality. What about the customer experience? How can food truck owners create a positive and memorable experience for their customers?
That's where those soft skills come in. Friendly and efficient service, a welcoming atmosphere, and those little touches that make customers feel valued can go a long way in creating a positive experience.
It's all about creating a connection with your customers and making them feel like they're part of your brand's story. Now, let's not forget about the power of social media. In building brand awareness and engaging with customers, we touched on it earlier, but can we dive a little deeper into how food trucks can leverage social media effectively?
Absolutely. Social media is a game changer for food trucks. It's a free and accessible platform to showcase your brand. Share mouth-watering photos of your food, announce your location, and engage with your followers.
And those online reviews can be incredibly powerful for food trucks. A positive review can attract new customers and build trust, while a negative review can have the opposite effect.
That's why managing your online reputation is so important. Responding to reviews, both positive and negative, shows that you care about your customers' feedback and are committed to providing a great experience.
It's all about being proactive and engaging with your online community.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of visual content. High-quality photos and videos of your food, your truck, and your team can really bring your brand to life and make people crave what you're serving.
You know, you're making me hungry just thinking about all this delicious food.
Me too. But let's not get too distracted. We've got more ground to cover in our deep dive. Speaking of which, let's talk about something that's essential for any food truck owner: building a strong team.
Ah, yes, the people behind the scenes who make the magic happen.
Exactly. Whether you're hiring employees or relying on a small team of family and friends, having a reliable and dedicated team is crucial for success.
Our Forbes Advisor article highlights the importance of finding people who share your passion and are committed to providing excellent customer service.
Those are the non-negotiables. You want people who are enthusiastic about your brand, skilled in their roles, and able to work well under pressure.
And it's not just about culinary skills, right? It's about those interpersonal skills, that ability to connect with customers and create a positive experience.
You nailed it. Finding people who embody your brand's values and can represent you well to the public is essential.
It sounds like building a strong team is all about finding the right people, training them well, and creating a positive and supportive work environment.
You got it. And don't underestimate the importance of clear communication, open feedback, and recognizing and rewarding your team's hard work.
Those are all great points. Creating a positive team culture is essential for any business, especially in the fast-paced and demanding world of food trucks.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears and talk about something that can be a major challenge for food truck owners, managing inventory.
Ah, yes. Keeping those ingredients flowing and avoiding those dreaded stockouts can be a logistical nightmare.
And it can be, but our Forbes Advisor Guide offers some helpful tips for streamlining your inventory management process.
Tell us more. What are some of the key strategies for keeping those shelves stocked without overspending or ending up with a mountain of wasted ingredients?
The article suggests establishing a system for tracking inventory levels, forecasting demand, and placing orders in advance to avoid those last-minute scrambles.
That makes sense. It's all about being organized and having a clear understanding of your usage patterns.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to negotiate with your suppliers for better pricing or delivery terms. Building strong relationships with your suppliers can go a long way in ensuring a smooth and cost-effective inventory management process.
Those are all great tips. Now let's talk about something that's essential for any business. Marketing. We touched on it earlier. But can we dive a little deeper into some specific marketing strategies that work well for food trucks?
You bet. Social media is a must-have for food trucks, as we discussed earlier. But it's not just about posting pretty pictures of your food. It's about using social media strategically to build your brand and engage with your customers and drive sales.
So what are some specific strategies food truck owners can use on social media?
The article recommends using a mix of content, including photos, videos, behind-the-scenes glimpses, customer testimonials, and even contests and giveaways.
That sounds like a great way to keep your content fresh and engaging.
Exactly. And don't forget about using social media to interact with your followers. Respond to comments, answer questions, and even run polls to get feedback. And keep people engaged.
It's all about building those relationships and creating a sense of community around your brand.
You got it. And don't be afraid to experiment with different social media platforms to see what works best for you. Some platforms like Instagram are great for visually driven content, while others like Twitter are better for quick updates and real-time engagement.
It sounds like finding the right mix of platforms and content is key for social media success.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about another important marketing channel, email marketing.
Email marketing. Isn't that a bit old school?
It might seem that way, but email marketing is still a powerful tool for food trucks. It's a great way to stay top of mind with your customers, announce special offers, promote new menu items, and even share your story and build a deeper connection with your audience.
So how can food truck owners build an email list and create effective email campaigns?
The article suggests offering incentives for people to sign up for your email list, like exclusive discounts or a sneak peek at new menu items. And when it comes to creating email campaigns, think about segmenting your audience and sending targeted messages that are relevant to their interests.
That's a great point. Nobody wants to be bombarded with irrelevant emails. It's all about providing value and building trust with your subscribers.
You got it. And don't forget about the importance of crafting compelling subject lines that will entice people to open your emails.
Those are all great tips for email marketing success. Now let's talk about something that's essential for any mobile business, finding the perfect location. We touched on this earlier, but can we delve a little deeper into the strategies for securing prime real estate for your food truck?
Absolutely. Finding the right location can make or break your business. The article recommends doing thorough research networking with other food truck owners, and even reaching out to businesses and event organizers to explore potential partnerships.
That makes sense. It's all about being proactive and building relationships.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to think outside the box. Traditional locations like busy street corners and food truck parks are great, but there are also opportunities to set up shop at farmers markets, festivals, private events, and even corporate offices.
I can see how diversifying your locations can help you reach new customers and expand your reach. What about the logistics of setting up and breaking down your food truck at different locations?
That's something to consider carefully. You need to make sure your truck is easily transportable, that you have a system for setting up and breaking down your equipment efficiently, and that you have all the necessary permits and licenses for each location.
It sounds like a well-oiled machine is essential for smooth operations.
You got it. And don't forget about the importance of safety and security. Make sure your truck is well lit, that you have a secure system for handling cash, and that you're aware of your surroundings and any potential hazards.
Those are all great points. Safety should always be a top priority.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears and talk about something that's essential for any food truck owner: providing excellent customer service.
Yes. Creating a positive and memorable experience for your customers is what keeps them coming back for more.
Exactly. The article emphasizes the importance of friendly and efficient service, clear communication, and a genuine desire to exceed customer expectations.
What are some specific strategies food truck owners can use to enhance the customer experience?
Think about things like greeting customers with a smile, offering samples or tastings, and personalizing the interaction whenever possible.
Those are all great ideas. It's those little touches that can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the importance of handling complaints effectively. If a customer has a negative experience, address their concerns promptly and professionally. Turn that negative experience into an opportunity to show your commitment to customer satisfaction.
That's great advice. Turning a negative experience into a positive one can build loyalty and strengthen your brand's reputation.
You got it. Now let's talk about something that's crucial for any business: managing your time effectively. Food truck owners wear many hats and juggle a lot of responsibilities.
I can only imagine. How can food truck owners stay organized, prioritize tasks, and avoid feeling overwhelmed?
The article recommends creating a schedule, setting realistic goals, and delegating tasks whenever possible.
That makes sense. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And don't forget about taking breaks and recharging your batteries. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of running a food truck, but it's essential to take care of yourself so you can continue to provide excellent service and delicious food to your customers.
Those are all such valuable insights. It's clear that running a successful food truck business requires passion, dedication, and a whole lot of hard work.
It does, but the rewards can be immense. There's nothing quite like the satisfaction of building your own business, serving delicious food to your community, and seeing the smiles on your customers' faces.
You know, you're making me want to quit my job and start a food truck.
Well, if you ever decide to take the plunge, we'll be here to cheer you on. But for now, let's wrap up our deep dive with a few final thoughts.
Sounds good. What are your key takeaways for all those aspiring food truck entrepreneurs out there?
First and foremost, do your research. Understand the market, the regulations, the costs, and the competition. Create a solid business plan. Assemble a great team. And be prepared to work harder than you ever have before.
And never underestimate the power of passion. It's the fuel that will drive you through the challenges and keep you going when things get tough.
You got it. And if you're ever feeling discouraged, remember why you started this journey in the first place. The joy of creating delicious food, the satisfaction of building your own business, and the connections you make with your customers. Those are the rewards that make it all worthwhile.
Welcome back to All Things Soggy Bunz.
You know, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of food trucks, I'm struck by just how much we've covered. We went from that initial spark of an idea all the way to managing inventory and building a strong team.
It really shows just how complex and multifaceted running a successful food truck business really is. And through it all, I think one of the key takeaways is that power of passion, wouldn't you say? That unwavering enthusiasm for your culinary creations, for connecting with your community, for building something truly unique.
Absolutely. It fuels those long hours and all that creative problem solving. It gives you that resilience to overcome all those inevitable challenges. It's what separates those who just, cook from those who truly create.
And I think customers can sense that passion too, that genuine love for what you're doing. It's what makes the food truck experience so special, so much more than just grabbing a quick bite.
It's about sharing that passion with the world, one delicious bite at a time. It's about creating that community around your food, a shared experience that goes beyond just satisfying hunger.
Speaking of passion, we can't wrap up this deep dive without giving another shout out to our own passion project, Soggy Bunz, a Maryland-based food truck and catering service that's all about bringing those mouth-watering buns to the streets.
If you're ready to experience those culinary delights firsthand, make sure to visit soggybunz.com. That's Buns with a Z for all the latest updates on our menu, location, and catering services.
We pour our heart and soul into every bun we create, and we just can't wait to share them with you. But for now, let's get back to our deep dive. We've covered a ton, but there are a few more nuggets of wisdom from our Forbes Advisor Guide that I think we should touch on.
You're talking about those essential soft skills that every food truck entrepreneur needs to master right. The stuff that goes beyond just cooking and serving up delicious food.
Exactly. Things like communication, problem solving, adaptability, and resilience. Those skills are essential for navigating all the ups and downs of running a food truck business.
One thing the article really stresses is the importance of building strong relationships. Not just with customers, but with suppliers, vendors, other food truck owners, even your competitors.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about creating that support network and fostering a sense of community. It's not always about competition, it's also about collaborating and learning from each other.
Absolutely. And then there's adaptability, right? Things can change so quickly in the food truck industry. You need to be able to roll with the punches and adjust your plans as needed.
Yeah, whether it's a sudden change in the weather, a mechanical issue with your truck, or a shift in customer demand, you have to think on your feet and come up with solutions.
You got it. And that's where resilience comes in. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks, even failures along the way. But it's how you bounce back from those challenges that defines your success.
It's about learning from those mistakes, picking yourself up, and coming back stronger than ever.
Exactly. And finally, never underestimate the importance of taking care of yourself. Running a food truck is super demanding work, both physically and mentally. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy, and taking time to recharge.
That is so important. It's easy to get swept up in all the hustle and bustle, but you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care is essential for long-term success.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of food trucks, what final words of wisdom would you offer to all those aspiring culinary entrepreneurs out there?
Embrace the journey. It's going to be challenging, it's going to be demanding, but it'll also be incredibly rewarding. Stay true to your vision, nurture that passion, and never stop learning and growing.
Beautifully said. And remember, the food truck community is full of supportive, like-minded individuals who are always willing to share their experiences and advice.
Don't be afraid to reach out, ask questions, and learn from those who have paved the way. And hey, if you're ever in the Maryland area, be sure to stop by Soggy Bunz and say hello.
We'd love to meet you and share our passion for those delicious buns.
That's soggybunz.com/buns with a Z for all things delicious. And with that, folks, we've come to the end of another delicious episode of All Things Soggy Bunz.
We've had such a blast exploring the ins and outs of this unique culinary adventure. We hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have.
And most importantly, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and inspiration along the way. Whether you're a seasoned food truck pro or just starting to dream about launching your own mobile culinary empire.
Remember, passion, preparation, and a whole lot of deliciousness are the key ingredients for success.
Thanks for tuning in to the All Things Soggy Bunz podcast. We'll catch you on the flip side.